Everyone. My name is Dean Carr. I'm a member of the board here at QUUF. Welcome into this day with Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, a liberal religious congregation founded in 1976 and bound together to serve religious freedom, caring community, and social justice. As we gather, I acknowledge that the land, water, and shorelines here in Port Townsend are the traditional territory of the S'Klallam and Chemakum peoples. We honor and acknowledge our Indigenous members and neighbors and vow to help restore and sustain these homelands. If you're visiting here today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in the fellowship hall after the service. We have a newcomers table and by the patio doors where our greeters are ready to answer any questions that you may have. So may the welcome we offer you be in equal measure to the ones in our hearts. We pause briefly to do some essential business of our congregation. Sign up for the Thanksgiving potluck. Thanksgiving is only a week and a half away, and we would love to know if you're joining us. If you plan to attend, please sign up for what you would like to bring. The sign-up poster is in the foyer. Sign up after the service, or stop by during the week, or call the office. Let us settle our minds and calm our hearts.
We light our chalice in the spirit of our Universalist ancestors who believed in a loving God and who held that no person is apart from the love of God. Whatever our individual beliefs, may we here be reminded or come to discover that we are each and all held in a love that will not let us go. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in our opening hymn, number 1029, Love Knocks and Waits for Us to Hear.
I'm going to sing the first verse through, and then we'll all sing all the verses together.
Flows
Joining us this morning is the Reverend Dr. Emily Melcher. She is a retired Unitarian Universalist interim and parish minister. She offers spiritual direction to individuals from her home on Whidbey Island, where she lives with her spouse, Anders, and their old English sheepdog, Teddy.
And living with us in our home on Whidbey Island is this small herd of elephants that I brought with me this morning to tell you about. Can all the little ones see the elephants from where you are? Can you see them? Okay. If anybody needs to come closer, you're welcome to. So I want to tell you today about a special characteristic of elephants, and particularly of this Whidbey Island herd of elephants. And that characteristic of elephants is something we call compassion. It means that they feel what other people feel, and they act kindly based on what they understand other people need from them. So I'm going to introduce them to you one at a time. And I have 4 of them with me today. There are many more, but my car is a little too small to bring them all across on the ferry. So first I'm going to introduce the mama elephant. That's this one. Her name is Ella. And she's the mom to a special elephant by the name of Pelle, and I have asked in advance for Pelle's permission to lift him up, because Pelle was born with no muscle tone, and he has something about his muscles that means he'll never actually be able to stand himself. But you can really imagine an elephant sitting in a wheelchair? Not so great. But let me show you this elephant Pelle. He said I could pick him up and show you what these kind and compassionate elephants made for him so that he could hang right along with them wherever they go, especially when they are out in the world doing their Unitarian Universalist thing. So this is Pelle, and he gets around on a skateboard, and they knew that he needed to have the skateboard tricked out especially. Whoop. So it goes like this. Can somebody read that for us? Answering the call to love. Originally it said standing on the side of love, but for people like Pelle who can't stand, for elephants like Pelle who can't stand, they kind of felt maybe it shouldn't say standing on the side of love. So most Unitarian Universalist congregations took to heart the songwriter's new words, which were answering the call to love instead of standing on the side of love. So that's Pelle. And Pincus is the little baby elephant. He's a cute little guy. Oops. And finally, we have this elephant whose name is Snout. What do you think? Ever seen an elephant like this before? No. I bet some of you think this is a dragon, right? Well, it's an elephant in dragon. And you know, when he first joined the herd, some of the other animals, not the elephants, because they are compassionate and they take people just as they are. They take elephants just as they are, no matter whether they look like an elephant or something else. And so when Snout came and joined them, he came trumpeting up to them. So they knew right away. He was telling them he's an elephant, no matter how he looks. And so they have always called him an elephant and always thought of him as one of them. So that's the story for today of my herd of elephants, Ella, Pelle, Pincus, and Snout.
So if you're on the aisle, please form an arch and we'll sing our children out.
Now we pause for a time of generosity and to receive the offering, and an offering to support the life and ministry of QUUF. The ushers will come among you to receive the offering, and additional ways for giving will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. This fellowship is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it.
concertinas couldn't all make it.
So we used a bowed concertina in place of one that couldn't be here.
This time is set aside to share joys and sorrows. We recognize that our personal joys and sorrows are only a fragment of the joys and sorrows of the larger community of life. And thus, we place this first stone thinking in particular of those who are still impacted and struggling with the government shutdown and the systems working on reopening. And now within the congregation, we light a candle to wish a happy birthday to Frank Layden, a mere 99 squared plus 1. Those are his words, not mine. On Tuesday, in spite of a few health challenges along the way. Come on, it's coming. Yes. And now we place a final stone, holding in our hearts the joys and sorrows I've just shared, but also thinking of such joys and sorrows among us that are unexpressed, but of no less importance.
These are the words of Joan Javier Duval. She is a UU minister with the congregation in Montpelier, Vermont. These are her words, and they're written for two voices to be read antiphonally. But I'm going to read the verse and then ask you to do the chorus with me each time. And the chorus goes like this: You are beloved, and you are welcome here. Let's try that. You are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week, or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth, you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful, you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside, or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort, you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing promises, you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whatever is on your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment, you are beloved, and you are welcome here. In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, you are beloved, and you are welcome here.
When discussing compassion, we must be aware of the painful reality of our planet. We live in a violent world. Even in the face of violence, sources of compassion continue to sustain our world. In spite of all the aloneness, alienation, cruelty, and coldness that pervade our broken planet, wellsprings of kindness and goodwill, like underground pools in a desert, offer healing, renewal, and sustenance. Compassion is birthed out of these springs. To give love, we have to know love. To be moved by the suffering and joy of another, our own suffering must be seen, and our joy the object of someone's delight. In the absence of love, the heart hardens. In the presence of love, even the hardest of hearts can grow soft like clay massaged in a potter's hand. Our special music this morning is by Squeezebox Rebellion. Where are you, Squeezebox? Oh, there they are.
The title of my sermon is Opening to Love. The late Dutch priest, psychologist, writer, and professor at both Yale and Harvard Divinity Schools, Henry Nouwen, speaking in the language of his tradition, proclaims that each of us is a beloved child of God. Knowing this, not up here in our heads, but here in our guts, is essential, he believes, for our belovedness is the through line, the constant source of renewing love that embraces us when all measures by which we judge ourselves and one another are fleeting, as our all too brief lives come and change and go. Frank Rodgers Jr., we heard a reading from his book, Compassion Practice. Among many distinctions, he was one of my professors at Claremont School of Theology. He developed a compassion practice grounded in the awareness of this love, though his understanding of its source is broader than God. Indeed, he references the sacred source of life, the vital spiritual energy that sustains and restores all living things. Of it, he writes, quote, "This sacred sustaining energy is not neutral toward us. Connecting with it and resting in its currents is intrinsically healing and revitalizing. It is an animating force, a spirit that has a quality to it, the quality of life and love." That's the end of the quote. But I wonder if any of you heard in that something that resonates with what we Unitarian Universalists used to call our first source. Direct experience of the transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces that sustain and uphold life. Sounds very similar, doesn't it? This quality of life and love that renews our spirits and opens us to the forces that sustain and uphold life is called by various names and by no name in religious traditions and in secular society. In truth, it is beyond naming, or beside naming, though human beings often anthropomorphize it. Giving it a name or a face can help to make it accessible so that we more easily enter into relationship with it, allowing it into our hearts and our lives. So it is in the 2017 film called The Shack, based on a Christian novel of the same name, in which a man named Mac, in acute distress after the kidnapping and disappearance of his young daughter, has a mystical encounter with the God in whom he no longer believes. And it's not just God he encounters, but also Jesus and the Holy Spirit and wisdom, which is the biblical feminine aspect of God. Lest this call to mind images of the white and white-bearded, all-powerful guy in the sky whose face is twisted in anger and judgment, no. You need to know that in this film, the character of God is portrayed variously by Octavia Spencer, a Black American actress, and Graham Greene, a First Nations Canadian actor. And which one of them is playing God at which time depends entirely on what will be most helpful to this grieving, angry Mac at different points on his healing journey. Now, the Black female personification of God lives in a lovely yellow house, bakes her own bread, and cooks a mean soup. She laughs readily, gazes kindly on Mac, and says to him from time to time, "I'm especially fond of you." This confuses and astonishes him. After all, if she is especially fond of him, how could she have let his beloved daughter be kidnapped? And what's more, Mac can't even stand himself anymore. He's become so angry and hostile. How could this God be especially fond of him? Well, in the film, Mac also encounters a Jesus figure played by the Israeli actor Aviv Alush. He's this playful carpenter who also happens to walk on water. And then there's the Holy Spirit, played by a Japanese actress, Sumire Matsubara, who tends a lush and mysterious garden where anything might happen at any time. A Brazilian actress named Alice Braga plays Sophia, the biblical name for wisdom. Her role is to help Mac face himself and find compassion for everyone, beginning with his deceased father, and then himself and his family, and even God. Finding this compassion is ultimately what enables him to begin to see with God's eyes, or more accurately, to feel what God feels, loving compassion, which is what Martin Luther King Jr. called the love of God operating in the human heart. Now, following Mac's encounter with Sophia, the wisdom figure, Mac talks again with the black female embodiment of God about his neighbor. And God says, "I've always been especially fond of him." And that is the moment in which Mac comes to understand that love is God's nature rather than something that God feels or does. It is not conditional, and it is not limited. It need not, and indeed it cannot be earned. And here's the kicker: nor can it be lost. Nor can it be lost. It can only be received or rejected. This kind of love is known as agape love. It may be experienced as particular and personal by an individual, but it is never limited by individuals' experience of it. This is the transcending mystery and wonder experienced in a wide variety of ways by people of many faiths and of no particular faith. For many, this vital, sustaining life force is experienced in, through, and even as nature itself. Anyone here? A sense of wonder, an experience of the oneness of everything, including you, grandeur that takes your breath away for a moment, reciprocity in the gift you receive, an unmediated awareness that I too belong. Some of us feel it moving in and through our experiences with other people, especially with those who know their own belonging and belovedness. All of you know someone like that, don't you? Where it's just so clear, and that's where they come from, because that's who they know themselves to be. And we feel it in their presence, in the quality of their listening, the way they're at rest within themselves when they're with us, which allows us in turn to slow down and maybe come to rest as well. We feel it in their gaze and in their embrace. And when we experience ourselves belonging and beloved, it changes us inwardly, expanding our awareness, deepening our compassion, and increasing our ability and desire to extend to others what we have received ourselves. This is a gift that cannot be commanded or willed. It need not and cannot be earned, but only received. And yet we can prepare the way for it in our lives by spending time in nature, by being with people whose awareness of their own and everyone else's belovedness allows them to see right through our defenses and evoke the heart of us and hold us in love. By engaging in spiritual practices that connect us with the sacred source of life-giving compassion. By resting in that love whenever and wherever we experience it. In a few moments, I'm going to invite you into a meditation that is going to hopefully evoke that sense of compassion in us. Spending time with that compassion, whether in our memory, our sense memory, or in person, in real life, so to speak. And this is interesting. You know, your brain cannot tell the difference between something you're remembering and something you're experiencing. So it's really darn useful to remember those special places where you knew that you were loved and to revisit those inside. But before we do this meditation, and the meditation comes from Frank Rodgers Jr. again, my professor, and the opening or not the opening reading, but the reading that Susan offered earlier comes from him also, from his book, Practicing Compassion. But as we prepare ourselves for the meditation, let's join in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life, and I invite you to remain seated.
Let's do it 3 times, it's short.
Oh
I invite you now into this meditation on receiving kindness and compassion. And if you're comfortable remaining seated and doing this that way, that's fine. If you need to lie down on the floor to meditate or move about, do whatever your body needs for you to enter into a time of meditation and remembering. Allow yourself to settle into some posture where you can both rest and be alert. Become aware of your breathing. Notice the ebb and flow of air through your body. You might deepen your breath, allowing it to expand more fully into your abdomen. And allow your breathing to settle you into an internal, interior quiet. As you continue to breathe and settle within, allow into your awareness various moments in your life when kindness, care, or compassion was extended toward you. Of the various moments that come to you, allow one to be the focus for this meditation. And within that moment, remember everything you can about where you were. The circumstances in your life, what you were feeling, enduring, needing. And turn your attention to the person who extended this kindness or compassion to you. Allow that moment and that person to become more concrete in your memory by using your senses. What sights were present in that moment? What sounds were present? Did you notice any smells? Or tastes? What sensations could you feel on your skin? And allow the gesture or presence of kindness in that person to be with you once more. Like a radiant light flowing toward and into you, allow their compassionate energy to soak into your being, remembering the look in their eye, the expression on their face, the warmth of their presence. And with each breath, allow their care to soak into every tissue of your being. Simply rest in their compassionate energy. And if feelings or thoughts or impulses emerge within you, allow them to be held in this same compassionate energy. And if it feels right to you, sense if a sacred source from which this compassion flows is present as well. And invite that sacred source to be with you as well, flowing through the compassion from this person. As we linger another moment with each breath, allow this sacred compassion to extend into every part of who you are, every cell of your being. And as we prepare to surface, notice if there is any invitation for one concrete way you might live more fully in the restoring power of this compassion. And now, knowing that a sacred compassion is ever sustaining you, allow yourself to surface from this meditation. Become aware once more of the place where you are. Be aware once more of being in your body. And as you are ready, open your eyes. Return more fully into this space and this company, and reflect on what you want to remember and take with you. Amen. I invite you now to rise in body and or in spirit, why not both, and join in singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us, our closing hymn.
I'll sing the first verse, so we'll do that one twice in case you don't know.
Love, if it is love, never goes away. It is embedded in us like seams of gold in the earth, waiting for light, waiting to be struck. Those are the words of Alice Walker.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah,
Got back.
I'll trade you.
Please join us in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish our flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, or the power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.